A few weeks ago, we had with us Nicholas Gage, the famous author and good Greek American from the East Coast. And if you remember, we talked about a book, a special book called Greece, a Land of Light. And you may recall also this wonderful picture on the cover of the book. Today, I'm very happy to present to you the artist, the photographer, the man who took all those great pictures that we haven't shown you yet, but you're going to see today. Barry Brukoff is here today. Barry, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about how did everything start? What triggered your interest to start this wonderful work?
Well, I went to Greece when I was very young. I was in my 20s and spent a week in Athens and around Cape Sunion, and just was very profoundly moved by being there, and I really can't explain what it was that drew me. I didn't go back for a few years, and I went back about 20 years ago in 1978 for the first time, and just arriving in Greece, walking out of the airplane down onto the runway in Athens, I had this weird sense of coming home that made no real sense to me at all because I'd only been there for a week. But I've been going back almost every year for 4 to 6 weeks and traveling around. I started out contemplating doing a book on the Greek islands, and as I spent more time, I just expanded, and pretty soon it was Ola Elas.
Ola Elas.
Yes. So I've covered Greece from one end, from the tip of the Peloponnesus to Mount Athos. I was very fortunate to be able to spend a week there, traveling from monastery to monastery, and most of the places in between. I've not met very many Greeks who have been as many places in Greece as I have.
Sure, and I understand you've taken thousands of pictures, basically.
Literally thousands.
And now, the job of selecting out of those thousands of pictures, the pictures for the book must have been pretty difficult.
Well, yes and no. The first cut, I mean, I probably have somewhere between 6,000 and 10,000 images. And getting it from that kind of figure to, say, 600 or 800 is fairly easy because the winners really stand out. And then getting it from, say, 600 to 300 is not so terribly hard. But when you're in that last cut of going from 300 to the 150 that are in the book, which is quite a remarkably large number, by the way, that is, I called that my Sophie's Choice dilemma. Mm-hmm. It's which of your favorite children do you have to leave out? And that was very much the process. When I have done the slideshows and lectures on the book, I have included half photographs that weren't in the book and half ones that were, and the reasons were that there were two very similar ones, or there was one that looked better against another one on the opposite page, and all kinds of different design decisions that went into making the book look the way it is. So that final cut was very difficult, and I have to thank Bullfinch Press, the publisher, because they gave me the opportunity to design the book as well as do the photography. So we had complete graphic control, and that gave me the ability to edit and adjust and move the photographs and get things where each 2 pages really has some meaning and significance to each other.
I noticed that going through the book, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and I noticed also that you have a variety of pictures, landscape, the sea, the waters, and faces of people. Really, you have a section where you focus on the faces, the people. So can you discuss this a little bit? What did you find the most interesting part of the range of pictures?
Well, it's all very interesting to me. I mean, I have done a book on Stonehenge. I'm working on one on Machu Picchu. I've spent a lot of time in the Indian ruins. I'm fascinated with ruins. So the classical and the Byzantine had a very, very powerful appeal to me on a particular level. The people of Greece are quite unusual in that one of the first things I learned to say in Greek was, I am a photographer, I'm working on a book on Greece, and may I take your photograph? And you do that in a lot of other countries, as when I was in Morocco, no, absolutely not. But in Greece, the answer almost invariably is, Vevaios.
Vevaios.
You know, here I am. And they present themselves to you very directly. The gaze is directly to you, and it's quite wonderful. It's a very open, alive quality of person to person. It's also remarkable that almost everywhere I have been in Greece, no one walks down the street without a greeting, without Kalimera sas.
People acknowledge each other.
Acknowledge each other, and going into remote mountain villages, there's always ligo nero ke gliko. You know, you don't walk into somebody's house or into a village without being invited in.
Hospitality.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the light. What is special about the light in Greece?
I don't know if I know what is special. I know that it is special. I have a notion that it could have something to do with the fact that there's so much water, and that a lot of what I was photographing was coastal, and it may have to do with the way light refracts from the sea. But there's a line in the book of Nick's that actually he used in another book, and I said, please, please, say this again in this book. He talks about going back to Greece and seeing the light and looking out, thinking it was as if the air had disappeared. And that is so perfect. I've never found any description that could be any better than that.
I remember reading
it's
that.
That clarity of atmosphere. And what it is, I really have no idea. But that it is, I'm very clear. Yes, it's quite remarkable.
For our viewers, if they want to buy this book, I've seen it all over at the Barnes & Nobles and other bookstores, but they can also, I understand they can go online and order it through Amazon.com and the other online booksellers.
Right, and we have it for sale as well. So if there are people in the local area, we can supply it. But it is delightful for me that it has been featured in all the bookstores that I've been in New York or LA. Every bookstore that I've walked in to check it out, it's been sitting face out on the shelf. And I've asked people, and they say, oh, we think it's such a beautiful book, we display it. I don't say who I am, I just say, why do you have that book out?
It's the pictures, Barry, it's the images that you have created. Thank you very much for taking the time to be with us, and we hope to have you in a future program again.
Thank you.